And that's where about, in the work day, about 5 o'clock, they announced the WOG Rebellion, which basically means that, um, oh, 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 oh. We hide, us shellbacks, there's going to be an uprising. So we take the Jolly Roger, we have a Jolly Roger, and we hide it somewhere on the ship. It's got to be hidden somewhere where it can be found, I mean, but in a fair game, we hide a Jolly Roger. And when they announce that the Jolly Roger is hidden, the WOG Rebellion begins. And it runs until midnight or until they find the Jolly Roger, at which time they run that Jolly Roger up the mainmast and flag the ship. So, but until they find that thing, they are tormenting us shellbacks. Where's the flag, Brown? Where's the flag? Because I know somebody knows where it is, and they catch us, they torture us, they tie us up. I got tied to a mess deck's table, a spread eagle. And these guys are fixing to come over and give me a severe dose of red belly. Bang, 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 bang. You know what that is? Okay. Well, they're fixing to give me the red belly treatment because, I'm a shellback and, whether I know where the flag is or not, I'm fair game. But one of my shipmates, who was also being tied to a table, struggled and kicked free, and the guys that were holding me before they'd finished tying me up jumped over to assist. And I broke free and I ran down to my print shop and locked the doors, and I stayed there till midnight, until the revolt was over. Now, crossing midnight, we crossed that morning, I come out of my print shop, I'm wearing pirate attire. I mean, I've got an eye patch, painted on scars, I'm carrying a shillelagh, I got a plastic hook hand, and I'm pissed. And I'm going after some of my shipmates. Of course, then I go down and do to them what was done to me when I had crossed. Anyway, everybody played, even the officers played. The only restrictions was the officers had to be hazed under supervision because you couldn't have an enlisted guy. Oh, here's my chance to get old Lieutenant Jones. Okay. No, they had to make sure that the hazing was tempered when we were dealing with superiors. But that was fine. Nobody needed to be beaten on the XO anyway. And our executive officer on one trip was a WOG, so he had to go through all that crap.
So it didn't matter if you were an officer or
not? No. It don't matter if you're on an airplane. If you're on a military airplane and you cross the equator, they used to do this stupid ceremony on the airplane. It'd be an abbreviated version of it, but there would be hazing of the WOGs. I've heard some chick, Navy chick, she had flown down to Australia for something on duty, and she was on a C-130 or something, and they did a little WOG ceremony, and she comes back, oh, they made us drink unsweetened Kool-Aid, and we had to, put our hats on backwards, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You have no idea. You do not deserve to be called a shellback. Literally, the ship's doctor would stand there and deliver. If somebody had been unruly or mouthy to the ship's doctor at any point ever, he'd give them a little teaspoon of Ipecac.
Oh.
And then they'd send them through that trash chute. And those were some of the guys that were throwing up. It was, they took it seriously. There was some hardcore hazing, and of course, there was always minor injuries. Somebody going through that trash chute there. At some point or other, a cook might have not thrown a sharpened metal can lid into the right receptacle and wound up in that trash chute. And we had a couple of guys come out with cuts from metal that wasn't supposed to be in there. I remember that. We had a couple of slip and fall incidents because people were dirty, greasy, wet, crawling up and down ladders. And Nothing ever real serious, just scrapes and a lot of bruises and contusions and scrapes. But that was just all part of the game. But then, of course, as a reward, we got these beautiful certificates
They are pretty.
and bragging rights to our granddaughters and other shipmates that didn't make other sailors we knew that didn't cross. They have one that's called the Order of the Blue Nose. And that is if you on a ship and you cross the Arctic Circle, they take the youngest crewman and the oldest crewman, and they strip them down to their skivvies, and they go up to the bullnose on the ship, the forwardmost bollard up there, and they have to paint it blue. And they're out in that cold air until they do so, and then they come back in. I mean, it's rather simple, but the youngest and the oldest on the ship are tasked with going up and painting the nose of the ship blue for the blue nose ceremony. And that's crossing the Arctic Circle.
That would be cold.
Yeah. Yep.